Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. That's Damo Camilleri. Matto _Phil. Just go check out the last few episodes to work out what the hell's going on there, because it's taken on a life of its own. Or, yes, just like
Can't believe
Cybernet. So, today we're discussing a topic that I've already done a little bit in depth via The Insider, and it just happened to blow up, which has been cool. But anyway, we're talking about loot boxes and gambling because EA are morons, basically.
I saw so much of that appear in my Google feed. Just couldn't believe it. Like the things I was reading.
Was Google asking to buy a loot box?
No, it was just like, because they have that recommended news feed stuff, and it was just like, President of EA has come out and said this.
Yeah, their VP of
and I was like,
legal and something. I don't know.
Wow. I just it baffled me. It baffled me that you can say that.
They can justify loot boxes as being surprise mechanics, which they then compared to like Kinder Surprise and whatever a LOL surprise is. I'd never heard of that, but geez, I thought that was funny. And Hatchimals and a whole bunch of those other little kids, like the old things where you pop the coin in and it spits out a little toy and you don't know what you're going to get. It just comes out. Yeah. I get it, but it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
That was their big argument. It's just like this, and you can. There's plenty of other extensions that maybe were applicable to us in our childhood, say Pokemon cards or those sort of things where you buy a pack, and who knows, maybe you get all doubles and it's completely useless to you. And I get it, but what could you do with those? You could trade them onto someone else. You can't do that with a microtransaction purchase in a video game.
No,
it's locked to your account. That's it. You're done.
Yep.
And that's where I think their whole ethics argument, their whole thing around it all falls apart. What are your thoughts?
I completely agree with you right there. Like, loot boxes, it's like, what percentage? What real percentage is there? Okay, let's break this down on the mechanic of, say, I'm a Magic the Gathering player. Okay, I buy a booster box, which is like 32 boosters or whatever like that. On average, you are guaranteed 4 to 8 mythic rares. So, possible really good money. Couple of there is a set, almost like your chances are known. Now, you're not going to get less than a minimum. But with loot boxes, it's like, hey, you can buy this, and there's the chance you're guaranteed, and they say you're guaranteed this, but your roll can be really shit on them, which is such an annoying feature. It's like, you get this gun, it's like awesome, but it's got the shittiest stats of all time. It's like, I just spent 7 hours grinding to get in-game currency to get this.
Finally got what I wanted, and then you give me the worst version of it.
This is shittier than the gun I got from a common box. That's not, and I know people are like, but when you buy Magic cards, you're not guaranteed good mythics rares.
Yeah,
true. You're not. Some we call them junk rares. That's fine, but as you stated, you can trade them onto someone. You can swap that.
Think, to EA's defense, I think you can do it with like the FIFA Ultimate Team and those sort of things. I think there's some sort of marketplace in place, and that's probably where they make the majority of their loot box money, to be honest. But yeah, overall that's not the case for EA and a whole bunch of other companies.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there were other companies' representatives there. You had people from Epic. Epic being the biggest. Well, they had the biggest game in the world still in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I guess they just sat there quietly like, yes. Yeah, I agree. We probably need to look into that. Yeah. And then you got EA going, no, mate, there's surprise mechanics, and it's just like a Kinder Surprise. You never know what you're going to get. Fuck off. Yeah,
but at least Kinder Surprise, it's like, hey, you're going to get Star Wars toys in this one, or hey, you're going to get, there's themes, or you miss the mark. Depends on when you're buying them and stuff. They release different, but to a kid, that's all useful. To a gamer, opening a loot box, that's not useful. There's a difference. To a kid, that surprise is, wow, I've got a cool car. Or it might be like, I got this cool little toy. There's a connection because you got the reward of the chocolate. You worked hard to bend your parents' arm, twist it in a position where they couldn't say no to you, and it brought
Chinese burned them, and there you go.
brought you a Kinder Surprise, right? When you earn in-game currency.
Or let's go with something better. A Yowie.
A Yowie. Oh,
They're back.
they're terrible.
But they're back.
They're not good.
But they're back.
It doesn't matter. They're not back if they're not the same. No, and it's one of those things, right, where, obviously your PR says don't accept blame for making kids gamble. Okay. Nah, this is how we're going to spin it. And it's bad. Just be on it. And I know honesty...
And EA don't mix.
loses you elections, loses you everything. But don't be a scumbag about it either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't twist the truth so poorly. They're like unsuspecting people. Like,
they're being mocked all over the internet for this surprise mechanics thing.
Oh, good. I mean, I try and stay out of like things like that. Like I do try and read articles now instead of just reading headlines. But when I saw that headline, like my heart sank. When I saw surprise mechanics, my heart sank with like, oh really? You're doing that?
Surprise! We took your money and gave you nothing.
Yeah. Have you had bad experiences with loot boxing? Have you ever?
Well, no, not really, because I don't mess around with them much. But
I've never brought.
No, there's nothing really like if I've bought, and we've obviously spoken in the past about Pokemon Go, for example, with me.
Yeah.
They sold boxes, and you knew what you were getting in them. So
okay.
there was no random, there was no RNGs involved.
RNGs.
So,
I love RNGs so much.
So
you are a
not quite, because I always knew what I was going to get.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any examples where it was just random. Like, I mean, I've opened loot boxes, but they're the ones that you kind of... You hit this new level, here you go, here's one.
Yeah.
Say an Overwatch system, for example.
Okay.
For the
but that was all
20 minutes
cosmetics,
that I played
though,
Overwatch.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That wasn't like, hey, you can win now because you have this better gun than everybody else. Like...
and to be fair, a lot of games are trying to kill off that sort of aspect, and it's just cosmetics, and I appreciate that. They're trying.
That's nice.
And I think EA are actually trying in that regard as well, but it still doesn't detract from this whole is it gambling thing.
Yeah,
it's gambling.
It is
kind of, mostly.
Well, oh man, that's no.
And it's definitely preying on kids because, unfortunately, and I think part of it's parents' fault in some regards, where they're just the credit card is just attached to the device or whatever because laziness. They don't want to have to keep punching the number in each time, and so little kid just runs the well dry with all their little spendings on apps or games on PC or PSN or Xbox or whatever it happens to be. But
so
they are still taking advantage of it.
Like attacking freemium. Because freemium, I think, in a world is almost dead. I haven't really seen much freemium stuff anymore pop up.
You get a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse that.
Then again, like I don't mobile game that much myself anymore.
Yeah, there's still a lot of mobile games coming out. In fact, you're almost sending a game out to die if it comes out, and it's not free these days.
Yeah. Because there was that South Park episode that they mock freemium, and he's like, "You spent this much money? Do you know how many songs I have to write to pay for this?" It's like, one. It's like, yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, some parents don't have that option. They don't have to. They're not. They're not Lord, so they can't do that. But it's so we're going from freemium to these loot boxes. Like, I mean, I've never spent money in game. I mean, because I earned some money from Google, so I bought some stuff in Google Gate, like on Google Play. Like I think I did for South Park Phone Destroyer. Because I was just like, oh, whatever.
But was it another one of those where you knew what you were getting when you did it?
Yeah, like it was
that's
like...
the big distinction. Loot box is this random thing.
Yeah, so it wasn't a loot box. I did buy the loot boxes in Fallout Shelter. I think I bought one of them. And but that wasn't like pay to win because it's Shelter. Like it was just...
It's a single player experience. You get whatever you get.
You might get this cool character. You might get useful resources. And I was like, there's a win-win there for me. Like... who cares? Like, the game's not going to become broken if I pay for everything, but I didn't. But Mass Effect, I never bought with actual money. I bought with in-game currency, but the effort to get to the better loot boxes was god awful, and I get it. You know,
you're talking Mass Effect 3, right?
Yeah. No, and Mass Effect 2. They had their online.
Did they? Okay.
They had their online thing, but yeah, like, you know, and that's, you know, some people, and that's it. Like, some people would save their in-game currency to get the better boxes, to get the better gun. You know, I think my friends
first you get the money, then you get the loot boxes, then you get nothing.
Yeah, and my mate was shattered because he spent so much time grinding out to get a Black Widow because he loved that sniper, and then his mate opens one loot box, gets it straight away, and doesn't even use it. But again, that goes back to your point though about, like, it's kind of unfair that you just can't trade that. You know, loot boxes are tied to accounts. Like, it's like, you know, Diablo, World of Warcraft. Like, Blizzard do a great job of, hey, you've got this gear, you don't want it. Here's the online market that you can trade. You know,
I think did the marketplace end up disappearing for Diablo 3 though? I think it did.
I
think they killed it because there was a lot of issues going on. But the idea was good though.
Yeah. Like, you know,
we don't need to keep taking your money. We're getting plenty of it from you anyway. Here, if
online
if you're
trading,
a savvy player, you know, make some money. Yeah, good on you.
That's great. Like online trading. Like, but I think that I don't get how EA, like, you can pay to win sometimes with their shit, and they call it surprise mechanics. It's like, yeah, surprise, I don't want to play this game anymore. Because that
surprise, I just traded it in, cockhead.
That guy got Ronaldo from, like, you know, a 1 in a billion chance in his FIFA game,
and then I pulled Paul James. Like, fuck, what a hack!
Yeah, I got the Australian soccer team from like 1920. Or the Thailand female soccer team that lost 13-0.
Yeah.
That's you know, that's like, you spent $500. See, we'll put my hand over my mouth every time we bring up some money, and we can just exchange the, you know.
I'll just put a little text number in front of you.
The Simpsons thing, you know, Atlantic Falcons. But yeah, no, it's disheartening that we still, after all the shit that EA cop and say and do, that they're still dickheads. You know what I mean? It's like, change your nature. Do it. Stop being a dumbass.
And stop cancelling Star Wars games, damn it. Side note.
What did they cancel this time?
No, nothing recently. It was just the Visceral one, the Amy Hennig one, the other single player one that's not Jedi Fallen Order.
Upsetting. What are your thoughts and views on this?
I think I kind of outlined at the beginning, and then you and I have kind of been bouncing back and forth. Bouncing back and forth since. So no, we're on the same page when it comes to this. Yeah. They need to straighten it up because, I mean, we've seen this transition over the years. Like, initially there was the for multiplayer games, and this is last gen, but there was that period where you bought the game and there was a code that you had to punch in that unlocked the multiplayer or whatever it was, so it stopped you from buying pre-owned. They're kind of trying to force your hand to buy directly, like a brand newie, so that the money went to the developer, because obviously if it's secondhand it just goes to EB, JB, eBay, whatever it happens to be. Then we saw the season pass come in, and there was there was still some resistance to that. That seems to be in a pretty sweet spot these days, where they, for the most part, will outline everything that's in it beforehand, and there's not too much that's random, and if there is, they usually give you a little bit extra just to make sure you feel like it's justified, in case you don't like that last thing. Yeah, but we gave you these extra things that we didn't even advertise in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's just, then we got to microtransactions, and now we're at this point where microtransactions they exist, and you use them or you don't. You know what they are. Say Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you can buy an XP boost. So whatever you do, it's 1.5 times XP. Just helps you level up a little bit quicker. I get that people don't even like that sort of thing and Odyssey was probably the one I heard get discussed a fair bit last year when it comes to that. A few people weren't a big fan of that idea because they felt like you were being you either had to spend another 20, 30 hours playing the game, or spend, I think it was maybe $15 or something like that to get this little XP boost, so you'd actually feel like when the next main story mission came along, you could actually do it right away. You'd otherwise have to bounce around the world for another 5 hours, getting yourself up to level, which is not how a good RPG works. Is that, usually you might do 1 or 2 side quests, but then you're on to your next main mission, then in 1 or 2 and you're on to your next one, and it kind of flows and works.
Yeah.
But that wasn't necessarily the case in Odyssey.
Okay.
It still wasn't horrific, but it nudged you towards the one buying the thing there. They didn't make it obvious, so it was this tiny little thing when you'd open up the main menu, like in the very top right corner, it said like store, and you'd be forgiven for missing it. You wouldn't even notice it was there. So they weren't going, here, buy this, buy this, buy this. But it frustrated people. Like eventually people realised it was there, and then they're trying to get through main missions and it's taking a few extra hours before they can start the next one. It was frustrating people, so people would eventually go, oh, well, maybe I'll buy it. I did it once I finished the main game. Well, yeah, right, I want to make sure I'm good to go for all things DLC later, which in the end I haven't gotten to. But I spent $15, got an XP boost, ramped myself up to level 50, and I was good to go for everything afterwards.
Yeah.
I'd already finished the main game. That's my one big catch. Because I reviewed it, so I needed to make sure I did it the way it was supposed to be done. So I spent probably 15, 20 extra hours like smashing through side missions and just going off and killing goons that I saw because I needed the XP. But yeah, now we're at the place with loot boxes and there's nothing ethical about them, so get rid of them.
Yeah. No, that's true, isn't it?
Or just advertise the chances of you getting what you want. Like I think China and a few other countries are forcing them to do that.
Yeah.
If they just bow to that, then at least you can say, well, we warned you.
Yes.
And then if you want to have them, you want to have them. If you want to buy them, go for it.
Yep. Like here's a list of everything this box could contain. Here's the percentages. Like you could get that gun,
or even if they go, it's
1%
high, mid,
chance.
low tier, whatever the hell these things are, and they go, okay, percentage chance of getting this, percentage chance of getting this, percentage chance of getting this. You're going to get 6 of these items. You can work it out from there. You get 2 of these, and it's a 16% chance of getting anything in there. Like it's not, it's not that hard. No. Use your brains.
I like that. I could agree with that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think China were the ones really leading that because I think they quickly identified it's gambling, but they were saying, well, we just want to make sure we declare everything.
So what you're telling me is that China's still cool.
Yeah, and then you've still got a few other countries, and I think it's Poland and the Netherlands, or Belgium and the Netherlands that have just flat out, no, we're just not going to let you sell your games here because it's got gambling in it.
I love it. The world's coming against,
EA.
Well, that's it. But they're the only ones that are really doing it to the point that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Still, it's bullshit.
And again, I think if they declare it, it's probably not an issue.
No.
That's it. Because I'm sure Belgium and Netherlands have the pokies or casinos or whatever. I'm sure they probably exist.
I don't know. Actually.
Legally, I'd imagine.
Maybe underground.
I don't know.
Underground legally.
But if they declare everything, I'm sure they have lol surprise and whatever.
But yeah, I guess so. I guess like there's parts of gambling that like
people bet on sports or whatever.
We accept. Like, okay, blackjack. Like there are 52 cards in the deck. These are your chances as things, so you kind of go, cheat. Well, I'm not gonna, it's your choice that you're making on those odds. Whereas a loot box, it's digital, so you don't know nothing. It's the same as like, I know this is kind of off the point, but it's like, Bitcoin's worth 10,000 Australian dollars right now. Okay, it's like, that's cool. Or maybe it's 15, I can't remember. It's like, you realize that that's a currency that someone made.
Yeah.
It's not an actual resource like gold that exists in a finite amount.
It's all up here.
It's kind of that same thing, like where digital stuff like that, it's like that company's in control of the odds, and maybe their RNGs is just like, nah.
You're not winning this shit. Pretty good spot to leave the topic at. EA, kill off that surprise mechanics terminology and just own up to the fact you got loot boxes, declare them, place the odds on the packaging, or make sure it's clear when you're in your terms of service or whatever the hell it is you want to do. Just be upfront about it. People aren't going to stop doing it if that's what they want to do or have been doing. You're on Twitter.
I am on Twitter at Tacos Talks.
RIP Matto_Phil. Paul James Games, the Player 2A and Player 2AU for the website. Visit the website player2.net.au. RIP Matto_Phil. I'm gonna have to get him to change his Twitter, not the handle, but just his username for a little while. We'll hit him up in the chat afterwards. So visit the website player2.net.au. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. The E3 Hub most recently. Go and check that out. YouTube.com/player2au. Like, share, subscribe. Podcast feeds. Also subscribe. Steal your phone, a friend's phone. Subscribe on their thing with every podcast service and return it to them. So
without the intention of returning.
Yeah. Okay. Give it a 5-star review. Help boost the show's visibility. We'd really appreciate that. That's it. Patreon.com/player2au. Kick in a few bucks, you get early access, and you'll help the Player 2 dream to grow. That's it. Don't spend any money on loot boxes. Spend money on Player 2. Thanks. See ya.
And yowies.